I'm thrilled to introduce you to my best friend and longest term friend, Miss Stacey South-Corner. She's the Director of Admissions and Recruitment for CAP Tulsa. Thank you so much for being here today.
I'm excited to be here. Me too.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about leadership and management styles and learn a little bit from Stacey about what she does for CAP Tulsa. Okay, so how would you define your leadership style?
I would say that my leadership style is really based in relationship. It is important for employees to feel like you care about them as a person, as well as an employee, but also that you care about the work that you're doing. And my work at CAP Tulsa is about giving impoverished and low-income families a head start in education. And so we're doing good work. So it's important for our employees to understand that as well and to know that we're working as a team.
I love that. It's kind of like the people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, okay, great. Next up, thinking about your experience as a manager, what are your thoughts about introverts and extroverts, and what are things you have done to engage both groups at work?
So I am an extrovert and I have a lot to say. So it's not difficult for me to raise my voice and speak up about an issue that's happening at work. What I've learned is that not everyone is like me, which is a good thing. Everyone brings their own personality to work. So I've been very intentional about creating safe spaces for my employees, because I have employees who will speak up in team meetings, but I also want the employee to feel like they can come into my office and share an idea that maybe they didn't feel comfortable sharing in front of everyone else. Right. And introvert or extrovert, we all have great ideas, creative ideas to make the team successful.
Yeah, really good. So it sounds like what you do is you have an open door policy.
Yes.
Where they can come in and talk to you about things.
Yes, definitely.
Really good. Okay, so what are some major motivations for you in your current role? As a manager, what have you found that best motivates your employees?
Well, as I mentioned before, we are working with low-income families to provide education and give them a head start in the world to reduce poverty. Yeah. And so that in and of itself is motivation for me. Yeah. Just waking up every day knowing that I'm going to work helping someone. Kind of as I've mentioned before, I think it's very important for my team and for my employees to understand what we're doing, where our agency is going, being transparent with them, letting them know the context of what we're doing and why that's meaningful to the work that we do every single day has been very important, I think, in my life as well as the lives of my employees.
Very good. Have you found anything that doesn't motivate your staff?
So my team is the frontline staff, and so we just have to be really careful because we are frontline staff. Sometimes that can come with compassion fatigue. That can come with things like always having to have the door open and be ready and be present. And sometimes those can be difficult situations, especially if we're dealing with a client who maybe has a hardship that just tugs on our hearts. You know, being able to move forward and be successful with the next family is something that's really important for us.
I had not heard the term compassion fatigue, but it makes complete sense, especially in your line of work. Okay, what strategies have worked for you in motivating staff members to bring their best effort, energy, and attitude to the workplace?
What we found is that with our employees, when they feel like they have a voice, when they understand what the work is, they are much more motivated to come. And I love to have a great time, so we like to eat a lot. So if we're having a celebration, that is a motivator as well. But we love to have a good time with each other, getting to know the successes that we've had in our own lives to connect each other has been a motivator for us.
Okay, I have another question for you. It's not on the list.
Okay.
It is, what are some practices or systems or processes that you have in place when it comes to having a conversation with an employee if their behavior or performance is not in alignment with the behavior or environment that you hope to have for everyone in your workplace?
One of the core values that we have at our agency is positive intent. Yeah. So we really want to believe and truly believe that most employees show up every day wanting to give their best.
Yes.
There are times when employees maybe aren't giving their best, So instead of just focusing on the work performance issue, we also like to look beyond that to say, is there something we can help you with? Maybe you're dealing with something in your personal life, and we can refer you to a resource. As I said, we want our families and our staff to be successful in what we do and the type of work that we have. It is also important to care about the employee as a person, but also as an employee, because we are trying to do good work.
Yeah, very good. All right. Do you guys use personality tests or strengths finders in recruiting or training employees for specific roles?
So it's really interesting that you're asking me this question, because just a couple of months ago, we began using Strengths Finder for our leadership team. We had some shifts that happened, and we wanted to see where we were as a leadership team to ensure that we were thinking from different perspectives. And so it was really great for us to come together as a team, and we started using that for our management teams that were under us, as well as our employees. So what we've learned is that it's important to have someone who comes into your agency that fills a spot that someone else hasn't already filled, so you are getting those perspectives. It does make you take a step back when you're hiring employees, because it's comfortable to hire someone who operates the same way you do. That's a little bit more comfortable. And so being able to see past yourself, being reflective as a department, as a team, and then using that different personality has been really good for us. As a matter of fact, we use a couple of different things, and several people in the agency have actually started using it as their signature line tag, so that you know when communication is coming from them, the type of style that they have. It gives a common language just throughout the agency of, okay, I understand this person leads with this strength. I understand that this person, when their colors, which is another training, when their colors are this way, I understand why they're responding to me the way they are. And you are less likely to take something personal, because you flip your mindset to their perspective instead of just your perspective.
I really like that. Like, that's incredible. Really good. Okay, share about a leader who has influenced the way you lead.
So this may be cliche, but I would say that actually both of my parents have influenced me considerably. And the reason that is because my father is a pastor, and my mother has been a pastor's wife for my entire life. And watching my family interact with other people, because they came in contact with a number of people who had lives that seemed to not have any issues at all the way to you can see the issue as soon as you see the person. So it gave me the perspective of working with different people. My dad is also a teacher as well by trade. He was a teacher, so he also worked with different people, and I was able to see that kind of firsthand. So that helped me be the leader that I am today.
Interact with people really well. Okay, final question. What personal qualities have served you best as a leader? And are there any areas of growth that you've had to develop in order to strengthen your leadership skills?
Yes, so I have, I would say, been what you might consider a natural leader, but that didn't mean that I just knew all of the answers. I have had to grow in my leadership style. One of the things that you will hear me say on a pretty regular basis is that relationship is important. That's one of the strengths that I believe I have, is creating relationships with people and letting them know that it's beyond just a surface level. So I would say that's a strength that I have. Another strength that I believe I have is that I want everyone to be successful. I don't want to take all of the credit for things, and I'll often give credit to someone else and step out of the limelight when possible to help build someone else's confidence. But a way that I've had to grow, I would say, is that I have a very strong personality, and so I've had to be really intentional about stepping back and not giving the first answer before someone else. Because I like to talk, and I like to think that I have great ideas, and ideation is actually one of my strengths in the Strengths Finder. So I'm always having ideas, and I want to tell people because I think that they need to know. And so I've had to really learn that
Yes.
sometimes you need to give someone else a chance to say the first answer, and just sit back, and you'll be surprised what you may learn yourself by listening
So
to
good.
others. Yeah.
That is so
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
Yes, that's so good. Thank you
Yes.
so much for being with us today.
Well,
I
thank
really
you for
appreciate
having
your
me.
time. And of course, you're an inspiring leader, and that's why I
Thank
asked you to do this interview. So thanks so much.
Thank you.